mistake, and you'll just have to work with it. And if you do make a mistake and that crappy tripod, if you do make a mistake and that happens, then you're going to have to, I guess, like, shave it down and cut some more. And having a bit of trouble keeping the tripod up. And there you go. You have your first cut. Now, basically just keep on cutting around all this. And one more thing, I'll tell you when I get to this flap what the problem is here. Now, the problem with this flap here is when you fold it, it will end in like a really hard to do fold. And that fold looks something like that. So this part would be easy to fold, and then a little bit harder to fold, and then you get to just, you're folding a point, which is an infinitely tiny spot. And that's really hard to do. So what you do is you just mirror this, except on the other side. So what I would do here is I'd do something like that. And remember, the flaps don't really tell you what the model's going to look like in the end. And there. This would be a whole lot easier to fold than what it was. Well, be careful about those, because you're going to have those a lot. Like, right there, and right there. I'm going to have it. Oh, well, I guess on this model I don't have a lot, but yeah, normally it happens quite often. Okay, and now back to the marker. When you look at it, the paper actually has a pretty big thickness to it. I'm using cardstock because that helps a lot. It has some thickness to it. Now when you fold that down, you'll be able to see that thickness when you on the finished product. And that thickness will turn out into a white line, and we don't want that. So what you do is you get the marker and you color on the edges. You do this everywhere, and if there's something in the way, like a flap, you fold that down and you continue on. And same thing here. So here, just do what I'm doing. It takes maybe accumulatively like 3 minutes extra time. But 3 minutes of your extra time makes the finished product look so much better than what it would look like. Like, I made a helicopter, and I didn't think about doing this until like halfway in. But so my helicopter has some parts that look really nice and look like they were plastic together or something like that, and other ones, some parts just look like they were folded together. Anyway, so after you've done that, these white lines that I told you to keep at the edges, you do basically the same thing. You color it a bit more like that. No extra work, again. This one would probably take about 5 more minutes. Like that. Yeah, so like this. You see that, how it's very noticeable about that white line? There. Now it's not as noticeable, especially from far away. Like from far away you can see this white line. Yeah, you can see that white line, and probably still going to be able to see it, but it blends in a lot more. There. Now, if like on the texture map, if you like on the texture map, like I took out all the random black lines. Like everywhere where there's a fold right now, you would see a black line. So it kind of really doesn't matter if you have those random black lines. Oh well. And that's basically it. Now you can fold it together and glue it together. And I'll show you tips on the gluing and the folding. Yeah, you need something flat. I chose a ruler. You can use like a calendar or an eraser or pencil. No, well, you need something like this. Now for these longer sides, you don't really need that, but actually I don't need a ruler for this, so I might show you later. So on this middle line, you can see that dotted line. You can fold down one side and then go all the way to the next one while keeping this folded, and do that. Now stretch it as much as you can, keep it down, and there you go. You can fold any line straight that way. Now here's what you do to make it a really good crease. You see this is kind of weak, and it can do that, and it has really weird stuff. To make it flexible, after you've folded it a little bit like this, don't crease it here, because that'll make it really ugly. You fold it the other way, and then you crease that. And you fold it the other way again. And you do a little crease to that, and there. Based on how well you fold it, you'll see this little thing pop up. And if you folded it really well, then that thing that pops up will be right across the dotted line. So basically, you go around doing this to everything. That. And that time it's really ugly and it's all like torn and stuff. The flaps don't really matter. You can fold them down once, or you can fold them all. Sorry about that. Or you could fold them all down. Just make sure they're all down. Put it on the table. Put it on the middle of the table. Get your flat object. Put it on there and crush it. And make sure you get all of it. And then you'll get something that looks like this. And when you pull out the flaps, it'll have the same effect as this middle one. So you go around folding everything like that. And if you're following along, I'm sorry about that, because you probably don't have a piece like this. But I'll get to smaller folds later. Alright. Alright. Now, comes the gluing. Now probably, when you were cutting out all those, when you were cutting out the piece that you're working on right now, and when you threw them away, you probably have something like this. When you do that, you need to save it, and you need to save it, leave it there,